All right, all right, all right. We are back again with another episode of Let's Recover Together, where we delve into the topics of mental health awareness and addiction awareness, two very serious subjects. Now, whether you're here for yourself and your own journey, and that's great, we would love to be a part of that, or whether you're here for somebody that you love, a loved one, and you want to get the information, that's great too. We accept and love everybody. We want everybody to come. You know, the stigma that is around mental health and addiction is just, it's too much. It's kept silence on the epidemic. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. And I see mental health as coming on as an epidemic in itself. I mean, mental health is getting worse. If you look at the numbers, mental health is driving down as well. But today we're going to be speaking on addiction. But before we get into that, if you could like, subscribe, share, definitely share, because this, the more ears that hear this, the more people we can get to fight this battle, and we could save some lives. And at the end of the day, that's what this is about. So today we're going to be talking about one of the deadliest drugs to ever hit the market. That's fentanyl. So I'm going to give you guys examples and some numbers. And And so that's what we're going to go over. And I'm going to share some of my personal experiences. And hopefully you walk away with a lot more knowledge than you had before. And that's our goal. So stick around to the end. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good episode. So stay around. So first I want to get into the numbers, right? So the numbers are staggering, okay? Now, a study in not really a study, it's a breakdown of the data. In 2023, we had over, I think it was 74,000 people that overdosed on fentanyl. Okay, 2023. Those are that's the data, the statistics from 2023, right? So that's, I mean, you want to talk about the stigma I was talking about earlier. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And the reason, in my opinion, the reason why these numbers get so high is because, it could be a plethora of reasons, but I mean, one of them could be, maybe pride getting in the way. That's always something that will get in the way of getting help. Maybe you're afraid, to step out of the box of what you're used to. You like staying in your comfort zone. We all do. We like staying in our comfort zone. So, and it goes on and on. So, but in fact, 2023 was actually a drop from what we had in 2022. Now, the data tells us statistically that in 2024, we had 76,000 people die from fentanyl. Now, I mean, that's not a big decrease, but it definitely, it's a decrease. So, but the thing is, to me, even one life is too much. And, I'm a realist and I have real expectations, and I know that, people that have issues or underlying mental health issues, they self-medicate, or people just like the drugs, or they started on the pills and, then they got hooked on the drugs of like heroin, and that's my story. That's what happened to me. So, and again, like I told you, I'm going to break a little bit into that as well, and specifically more to the part of fentanyl. So, that's a slight decrease, but so I want to talk about the effects of what this can have on people that other than the people that are using fentanyl, I want to talk about the effects that it has, because it is far-reaching. That ripple effect, it goes through your family, it goes through your friends. I mean, what do you think happens after you die? And the people that loved you, what do you think happens with them? I mean, what do you think happens to the family? If you have kids, I mean, it goes on and on. I know this personally. My brother died. He was one of those statistics in 2023. And you're talking about a person who never did drugs in his life. And about 3 months of doing heroin that had fentanyl in it, killed him. It killed him. 3 months. It took 3 months. But remember, you're playing Russian roulette every single time that you put fentanyl in your body. Especially mixed with, now if you want to talk about mixed with benzos and cocaine and all these different drugs, you would expect those numbers earlier that I was telling you about to rise, and they do rise with that stuff. The numbers I gave you were just fentanyl. That was just fentanyl. The 74,000 and the 76,000, that was just fentanyl. So remember, your loved ones, the impact that it has on your mother, your brothers, your sisters, your best friends, the impact is forever, because now they will not have those memories to share with you forever, because you're gone. And you're gone for what? A drug that gives you instant gratification right away. And us as humans love instant gratification, right? I mean, that's one of our, kryptonites, basically, is instant gratification. And there's a problem with that, because sometimes you need to take the long road. Sometimes you need to take the long way home and, not take the shortcuts. Because once we start taking shortcuts and we think that's okay, that those are behaviors that lead to addiction and mental health, and to lead to poor decisions. So, like I said, the ripple effect of you using fentanyl, and then your family just no longer has their son, or no longer has their sister, or no longer has their grandchild. It's a very sad thing to see. And I've seen so much of it. I've been to so many funerals, and I've talked to so many people and families, and it's just, the tears are too real. They're too real. So that's, it's crazy. But the emotional and psychological effects that this has on so many people, it's so far spread that the impact of, and then, I wanted to, along with it, we're talking about money too. So what happens with a family that has, all of a sudden a death randomly happened because somebody overdosed on fentanyl real fast, and then, like my brother, and it was a quick death, an immediate death, and then all of a sudden he's here 1 minute, the next minute he's gone. I don't have my brother anymore. And that was also, and as mundane as it seems, and as not relevant, to say, so to speak, as it seems, but the money too that it costs, like afterwards, if someone dies, the ripple effect of money, maybe that person was the breadwinner of the family, and it's a father or a mother who is working, and they were the breadwinners, they have kids, and now all of a sudden, again, they were here 1 second and they were gone the next. And now all of a sudden, what are you going to do? You're thrown in a tornado of emotions, and on top of that, now you have some real life things to worry about. And, how are we going to, how do we work with that, and how do we get around it? Well, there's resources out there, and that's why there's channels like Let's Recover Together, because we want to get these resources out there to you guys, and we want to let you know, that there is a better tomorrow, always a better tomorrow. So, you know, smile. You know, these effects are widespread. I mean, obviously, if I'm calling it an epidemic, it's widespread. It's throughout the whole country. Fentanyl, it comes in little. So what's happening is it's coming from China, and these drug dealers are putting it in their heroin to stretch it out further, and you know, that drug dealer is not thinking about how much they're putting in. In fact, probably to them, the more the better. And that's just, again, an agent of death. So, you know, understanding that, maybe that will give you, I mean, because you're giving, the user is giving, you know, that drug dealer their money. And it could be hard-earned money. Most of the time it is. You're working 40, 60, 80 hours a week, and more than half your paycheck, or the whole paycheck, is going to fentanyl, basically. Because that's all that's out there. And people need to realize the issues with fentanyl, and we really, that's why I wanted to do this video, because it's so far and wide-reaching that, you know, or so far-reaching that it literally hits everybody. And, you know, we, in this country, have, history repeats itself, right? We had narcomania for so many years, which was, you know, doctors being afraid of prescribing opioids, and that was totally understandable. But the narcomania was a little bit different. It was kind of like prohibition, where they were trying to banish all opioids and all that. And some people actually, to this day, agree with that. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but a lot of people do, to this day. But narcomania is something that has been, I mean, this was like 1929, so we're talking some years back. But those values have passed on through the years. So, you know, let's remember that too. So, but back to fentanyl, you know, again, you're playing Russian roulette every single time that you take that shot, or you put on that patch, or you suck that lollipop, or whatever the case is, and then adding other drugs on top of it, which more than half of people do. You know, they typically add a benzodiazepine with it. And for those of you that don't know what a benzodiazepine is, it's things like Klonopin, Xanax, Ativan, and things like that. You know, you add that, they're sedatives, right? They're sedatives. So what ends up happening is, and it's all CNS depressants, so they're central nervous system depressants. And there's a lot of things we could do to curb this now. So the ways I found that the best ways were, one, getting it out, talking to people. It's always good to talk to people. It could even be a random person. It doesn't matter. I believe also in having, now I spit nothing about, you know, meetings, anything like that. I don't push anything like that on people. So, but I do believe that you have to have something higher than yourself to recover. I do believe that. With my heart, because I mean, that's how I recovered. I had a higher power of my liking, you know, to what I wanted. So it could be whatever you want. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be whatever you want. But it, you know, I said this earlier in the intro, but I want to say it again and elaborate a little bit. So we all know the expression that knowledge is power, right? Well, knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is even more powerful, because we could get the knowledge all day long. I could sit here and talk to you all day long and tell you, about this and that and, all the different things. But if you don't apply it in your life to actually change, then the change won't happen. So then I want to get on to the next part of, what could help potentially. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. And what that is, it works on your cognitive skills and getting back into speech and almost learning all that again, and your cognitive abilities and being able to, it could be like mind processing and doing like quizzes and things like that, and or breathing techniques and techniques that you could use where it's like your meditation, deep meditation really helps. And then you have other things that are physical, more like deep tissue massages. Those really help for anybody who may be going through a little bit of withdrawal. Maybe they're still uncomfortable, and if you are in that stage, I would say, and you have put the drugs down, I would say definitely get to a center as quick as you possibly can. Now, whether you join for an inpatient or you do outpatient, that's your decision. That's the beautiful thing about recovery, is that it's personalized, right? We all have this common thread of addiction, but the point is that it's still individualized, because my story may be similar, but it's not going to be exactly like yours. So, and that's the beauty of it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, was fentanyl. It was a quick video. I didn't want to drag it out too long. We all know, and there's been so many other videos made about it, that fentanyl is an issue and a systemic issue, and it is an epidemic, and it's killing our kids, it's killing our mothers, it's killing anybody. It doesn't discriminate. Addiction does not discriminate. So, if you tuned in, we really appreciate it. Come back for the next video. The next video we're going to be talking about, cognitive awareness. I believe that is the next episode. Not 100%. But thank you for tuning in to LRT. Let's Recover Together. We loved having you. Please leave some comments in the comment section. Let us know how we're doing, what we can change, and what you like. So, this is Kevin signing off. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel and the algorithm. So, that being said, again, thank you so much. And I hope that you got everything that you could out of this video and have the best 24 hours that you can.